You are not samurai!
Stop.
You do not speak truth!
Stop.
You only want to destroy! You have no Bushido! You have no Bushido!
You are now looking at Todd Winkler in court after being accused of taking the life of his wife.
Stop.
It was 2005 in Cameron Park, California. Aspiring artist Rachel Hatfield and her boyfriend were in a 14-year-long relationship, but this relationship began to break down as he was not yet ready for marriage. It took only a matter of weeks for Rachel to move on and marry her new husband, Todd Winkler, a much more financially successful businessman and former fighter pilot.
A mastermind, a manipulator, a murderer.
At first, they seemed like the perfect couple. They bought an $860,000 home and had 3 kids together. But things took a turn when Todd ran into financial issues, maxing out credit cards. Rachel vented her frustrations to her friends. But the relationship continued to decline as Todd secured a job in San Francisco, returning home only on weekends.
You got the scissors away from her. Okay, what were you doing with those at the time?
Striking her.
To ease their financial strain, Rachel opted to work at Cameron Air Park, a residential airport catering to local plane owners, which was a short walk from the Winkler home. Little did Rachel know, this seemingly small decision would turn out to be one of the riskiest she had ever made. As the manager of the air park, Rachel asked an apprehensive employee, James White, to join her for a meeting in her office. Anxiously, James wondered if he might be facing job-related issues. To his astonishment, Rachel revealed her deep affection for him. The feeling was reciprocated, leading to the beginning of a secret relationship, complicated as they were both married.
Todd Winkler is a cold-blooded killer, and Todd Winkler has killed before.
With Todd away on weekends, Rachel and James were often seen together at the Winkler home during the week, and news of the affair reached Todd. He implored Rachel to end it, but she resisted. Todd then took matters into his own hands and drove to James's home accompanied by Rachel's father, but they were greeted by a gun and a refusal to end the relationship. On a Sunday night, Rachel reached a decision. She drove home to inform Todd of her desire for a divorce and her intention to be with James. This led to a heated argument that would alter the course of everything.
911, what's your emergency?
Calling to report a fatality.
Where did this occur?
It's in the Cameron Park Air Park.
Police arrived to the Winkler home, finding an unresponsive Rachel, and immediately took Todd in for questioning, where the disturbing details are revealed. The interrogation begins with Todd explaining to the detective what started the fight between him and Rachel.
Then she started to lay out all the terms that she had wanted, and one of them was primary custody of the children. And so I resolved to, fight for custody of the kids. So I went in the bedroom where she is and crawled into bed next to her. And I said, I'm not going to agree to you having the kids up here and having primary custody. I'm not going to fight you on this. And she said, I'm looking to have my boyfriend get rid of you. And I never hit him.
You will now listen to real audio recorded by police when they first approached Todd when arriving at the Winkler home.
There's a male on the front steps. Sheriff's office, walk towards me. Walk to me. Keep your hands up where I can see them. Keep walking towards us. Stop right there. Turn around. Put your hands on top of your head. Drop down to your knees. Cross your ankles. Who else is inside the house?
There's no one else inside the house, sir.
Where are your kids at?
My kids are right out to the age to your right.
Right here? Where's your wife?
Sir. My wife is inside the house.
You said nobody else was inside, though.
My wife is dead.
What happened?
She threatened me and that I hit her, and she came out with her.
Did you say she came out with you with a pair of scissors?
So where is your wife?
She's in, when you enter the house, you turn to the right, the first bedroom on your right.
And you sure she's dead?
I'm positive.
How are you sure?
No pulse, no breathing.
Okay. You said she came at you with scissors and you hit her?
I hit her first.
Okay.
And where did you hit her? Was it her right side of the face? Okay, yeah. And she turns out she's coming at me with a V of scissors. And I got a hold of them. We had a struggle on the bed and rolled off into the bed. And I was able to get him turned around onto her and give her some jabs. It was a long, protracted struggle. I poked her in the eye really hard and got her to break free, and I got up and got out of the room and ran to my car. Got to my car and thought, get out of here. I thought, oh my God, I don't want to get the children. The kids are sleeping, you know. I just wanted to get the baby out of the room that she was in. So I ran back out to the garage to think what to do. I grabbed my motorcycle jacket at that point, put it on, zipped it up, and I rushed into the room. She wasn't at the door. I tripped and fell forward when I rushed into the room. She kicked me in the face, and then we got into another subsequent struggle on the floor.
During the search of the Winkler home, detectives stumbled upon a revelation that would unveil a significant twist in the case. They discovered the ashes of Catherine Lynn Winkler, realizing Todd had a previous wife who had also passed away, adding another layer of complexity to the situation. Kathy Winkler was brought up on MacDill Air Force Base in Florida. This cultivated a fascination with fighter pilots. Kathy's aspirations materialized when she found herself a new fighter pilot boyfriend. However, just like Rachel's experience, this relationship lacked commitment. Subsequently, Todd Winkler became a rebound option for her. And again, just like Rachel, Kathy and Todd swiftly tied the knot within only a matter of weeks. Following their wedding, Todd was stationed in Japan by the Air Force. The couple relocated together, and their future appeared promising. The squadron where Todd was stationed in Japan was named the Fighting Samurais, providing context for the origins of Todd's outrageous courtroom outburst.
You are not samurai!
Stop.
You do not speak truth!
Stop.
You only want to destroy! You have no Bushido! You have no Bushido!
While Kathy found fulfillment as an English teacher in Japan, Todd encountered troubles within the Air Force. He faced a shoplifting incident at the Air Force PX and reacted strongly during questioning by his commander, resulting in his admission to a psychiatric care facility at an Army hospital. This pattern of behavior persisted across Todd's different professions. Rachel had even told friends that Todd faked having cancer multiple times to avoid work and meetings, and potentially attempting to sue his workplace for excessive workload. She also revealed that Todd wanted to orchestrate a car crash for financial gain. After 9 years together, Kathy and Todd finally settled in Georgia. Todd found a stable income after leaving the Air Force, and Kathy wanted to start a family. But that wasn't to be as Todd planned a camping trip for September 26, 1999. On a pitch-dark night, the couple ventured towards a remote area, not typically associated with camping. On that very night, two friends named Mike and Woody, who happened to be camping nearby, were abruptly awakened at midnight by the piercing screams of a man. The man behind those cries was none other than Todd Winkler, urgently shouting, "Help! Help! My wife is dead!" The friends observed Todd's behavior, which they deemed as horrible acting. Todd proceeded to offer an explanation. He recounted that he and his wife had been camping when he was stung by a bee, triggering a severe allergic reaction. He claimed to have laid on the bed of their pickup truck, while Kathy attempted to rush him to a hospital. It was at this point Kathy lost control of the pickup truck, and the car went crashing over a steep ridge, resulting in a fatal accident. The friends found Todd's survival in the crash with minimal injuries quite perplexing. Additionally, they noted the peculiarity of a massive fire engulfing the entire ridge, a scenario that seemed implausible to have originated from a single car accident. Upon the arrival of the police, Todd recounted a narrative similar to before, but certain details had already begun to diverge. In this version, he claimed to have been in the passenger seat, holding Kathy's hand, as opposed to lying on the bed of the truck during the incident. The police requested Todd to point out the location where he had been stung by the bee, but he struggled to identify any corresponding bite mark. During the interrogation, Todd suddenly posed the question, "Do you think I killed my wife?" The detective replied, "Did you?" This prompted Todd to become highly emotional and visibly distressed. Despite the inconsistencies due to insufficient evidence, the case of Kathy Winkler was ultimately classified as an accident. Consequently, Todd received a significant insurance payout of $1.2 million following Kathy's death.
Once I, started to get the upper hand, I pushed the scissors in as far as I could. I knew if I let go, she still had a hand on the scissors. I was in a rage. I was also fearing for, she was, it was a kill or be killed kind of situation.
At that point, you wanted her to die.
Mm-hmm. And I just sobbed. So, tried to CPR.
Right.
But this is a long time after she had gone motionless. I'm going to estimate this might be 30 minutes or so. Okay. I know I did try a little bit mouth to mouth too. I don't know why. I hear the baby crying, and it just kind of like snapped me back to, I guess, a little bit of reality. And I thought that baby is going to wake up those girls.
Right.
And so I went and grabbed the baby. I knew he was hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So ran to the kitchen, grabbed him a bottle.
And then you spoke about putting or cleaning up. When was that?
I knew the girls would be getting up. I knew they'd be waking up. And I thought, my God, I wanted to see this bloody, horrible scene. And so I'll try cleaning this up.
Okay, and where did you start cleaning?
In the room.
What did you do with the rags and the cleaning supplies and all that?
Went and cleaned myself up, changed clothes, and I thought I want to, let these girls wake up and not be horrified. So made a breakfast, made a fire, put on a movie for them. Got the baby, he had blood on him, got the baby cleaned up. I go back to the scene and I thought, Jesus Christ, what am I going to do with all these cleaning supplies? This looks horrible.
Right.
I threw them in the fire.
Okay. And do you have a fireplace or?
I have a fireplace.
Yeah. And what things specifically did you burn?
The scrubbing brush, the rubber gloves, the bottle of cleaner.
Todd exhibited multiple minor scratches and cuts on his hands and face, which he attributed to a confrontation with Rachel. Yet, his narrative became dubious when he admitted spending 6 hours meticulously cleaning the crime scene and tending to his children's breakfast. Detectives grew skeptical as they found no traces of blood on the cleaning materials or kitchen utensils, raising the question of whether Todd had inflicted those wounds upon himself. Following Rachel's death in 2012, Todd Winkler faced a trial in 2014 where prosecutors were permitted to introduce Kathy's death in 1999 as evidence.
In addition to the insurance policy of about $1.1 that Kathy had at the time of her death on her own life, he had $1.2 million on his own life.
Todd's defense argued that Kathy's death was irrelevant, emphasizing that it had been thoroughly investigated previously. The defense contended that Todd was undergoing a psychiatric breakdown akin to a previous incident in Japan, where he had escaped a psychiatric hospital and proclaimed himself a samurai warrior to Kathy. Prosecutors recounted a narrative in which they believed an enraged Todd seized a pair of scissors from a craft box situated above the family computer, proceeding to assault Rachel while she slept. As Todd was preparing to depart his house, he noticed a light switch flick on. Reacting swiftly, he retrieved his biker jacket as a form of protection and promptly re-entered the premises, where he resumed his attack on Rachel to complete the act.
He's in the corner there. She kicks at him. Bear crawls up her body. He takes those scissors, and this ex-fighter pilot jams them into her neck, and he sits there and lays there on top of her while she slowly dies.
After dedicating 6 hours to cleaning the scene, Todd proceeded to take his children to the neighbor's residence. It was at this juncture that he commenced inflicting injuries upon himself. The neighbors corroborated that Todd did not display these wounds when he dropped off the children.
This defendant said to Rachel, "If you divorce me, you will end up like my last wife." she did.
The jury swiftly reached a verdict shortly thereafter.
We, the jury, impaneled in the above entitled action, find the defendant Todd Allen Winkler guilty of the crime of first-degree murder.
Todd was sentenced to 26 years to life for the murder of Rachel Winkler. Consequently, Rachel's father assumed the responsibility of raising her children, driven by a desire to compensate for not being present for Rachel during her childhood. If you are a real samurai, please subscribe to Documentaries and watch our Interrogation playlist for more content just like this. And if you refuse, you don't have any Bushido.